Hey, I'm Marissa and welcome back to my channel. Here on my channel we talk about life and money, and today we're talking about budgeting and babies. So I am a new mom. I recently had my son Peter in May of 2020, and before I even had my son, I've been a huge fan of budgeting. My husband and I have been budgeting since we got married 5 years ago, and together we've been able to pay off over $80,000 of debt, save for an emergency fund, buy a house, and so I'm just like obsessed with crunching the numbers and everything budgeting. And when I got pregnant, I was very interested in all of the costs that would go into pregnancy and having a baby, and so I did a ton of research, watched so many YouTube videos, and Googled just about everything to try and figure out like how much all this was going to cost and how am I supposed to prepare my finances for having a baby. And while I did learn some like here and there from things that I was researching, I really felt like I was just going to learn a lot while I was going through it myself. So I decided to really keep track of everything that I was spending related to having a baby. So today I'm breaking it down for you to share how much I actually spent during my pregnancy for baby and pregnancy costs. But before we get into it, I want to let you know I've actually created a course called Budgeting for Baby, and in it I share all the information that you need to know about planning your finances and budgeting for having a baby, all of the costs that you can expect, and also how to save money on these costs because they can definitely add up. And while a lot of people may say that having a baby is so expensive, it doesn't really need to be. So I created this course to help expecting parents feel confident in entering this next season, because money can be stressful and you don't want it to be a stress when you're entering this really fun season of bringing a little one into your home. So I'll have a link to that course in the description box down below so you can check it out. There's also a really cute workbook that comes with the course for free, as well as my budget template that I use in Excel every single month. And you also get access to a private Facebook group, which has been really fun to talk with other expecting moms who are trying to plan and budget for having a baby as well. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos. Okay, so I'm going to break this down by category. So the first category that I spent money on was pregnancy and postpartum care. And in this category, I spent $123.73. Now this includes basically all sort of health kind of stuff that I had while I was pregnant, so prenatal vitamins, any sort of like lotions or things like that, and also like postpartum care like pads and all of those lovely goodies that I had to prepare myself for after giving birth. So yeah, I spent about a little over $100 on all of this type of prenatal care. The next thing that I spent money on was maternity clothing, and that was $111.31. So I definitely did not spend a lot on maternity clothing. Basically, I bought myself a pair of maternity leggings and maternity jeans, both of which I was able to get on sale. I got a pair of Madewell maternity jeans, which I loved, and then also a pair of Zella brand maternity leggings. And yeah, I saved I think like 40% on both of them because I was shopping sales, but I knew that I wanted like a solid pair of maternity leggings and jeans because that really is what you live in. Besides that, I bought myself like a couple bras and then also like 2 shirts, and everything else I actually borrowed from friends who had babies. They had reached out to me and just like gave me all their clothes, which was so nice. I also did have a baby during the pandemic, so for the last trimester of my pregnancy, when I was like really big, I was just sitting at home anyway, so I felt like I didn't really need a whole lot of clothing because no one was going to see me. Next up is baby clothing. I spent $32.99 on baby clothing. So I have a son, like I think I mentioned that, but his name is Peter, but having a boy I feel like is so much different than having a girl. But I remember when I first found out I had a boy, I went to Target and bought like a cute little outfit for him just because it was fun, you know, had to get my son a cute little outfit. And besides that, we haven't really had to get a ton of other clothing items. We've had some gifted to us, which was so nice. And I think that if I had a girl, I probably would have gone crazy and like wanted to get like all the really cute girl clothes. And not to say that there's not cute stuff for boys, but I will say, like, once I found out I was having a boy, then I went to Target and you see that the girl section is like massive and the boy section's like this big in the corner, and there just aren't as many options. But that being said, I did get a couple little outfits for him, and besides that, just everything else that we have for him has been gifted to us. He basically just lives in sleepers and onesies, so he has like 3 actual outfits that he kind of goes through, but not super often because also pandemic, newborn life, we don't go anywhere. The next line item that I have is baby supplies, and this was kind of big for us. We spent $1,685.68 on baby supplies. So we're first-time parents. This is also the first baby on both sides of our family, and so we just had to like get a whole bunch of stuff. Mind you, we really could have saved money if we would have bought things off of like Facebook Marketplace or secondhand, something like that, but I really do think that we were able to save a lot of money on our baby supplies, and that's because we were able to shop a lot of sales. So one thing that we bought in this category was our stroller. We bought the UPPAbaby Vista, and I ended up buying it when it was on sale in January because they were launching the new model, and so the old model went on a deep discount. Also, I was able to use my completion coupon on my registries to pick up any other baby supplies items that we needed after we were like gifted some things from friends and family. So that completion coupon on our registry saved us 15% on everything else that we bought. So things in this category would be like our stroller, our baby swing, our bouncer, like just all sorts of doodad that we have, any sort of gadget. Doodad? Who says that? Any sort of gadget that we have for baby would be included in this baby supplies category. The next line item that I have is nursery furniture, and we spent $720.84 on nursery furniture. So also we bought all of this stuff new. We didn't buy any of it used, and that could have been a way that we would have been able to save, but almost every piece of nursery furniture that we have for him I also got on sale because I'm a huge fan of shopping sales. So nursery furniture, this includes like his crib, his dresser, the rocker, any sort of decor that's in his nursery. Basically, the only thing that I didn't get on sale was his dresser, which is from IKEA, and I just loved that dresser. I really wanted that specific one. But everything else I got at Target on sale during their like Black Friday sale. That ended up having a bunch of baby items that were at a great discount, so I made the purchase then, which was also funny because again I had a baby in late May, so buying all of it in November and then having it sit in his room for so long, it felt like a really long time. But I had the money in my budget. We'd been saving every month for baby related expenses, which is something that I also talk about in my budgeting for baby course, of how you can be able to save for all of these sorts of costs. But I felt like I had the permission to spend on these things because I had the money in my baby budget, and I also knew that I was going to be buying it eventually, so I was always looking out for sales and I would make purchases on things whenever I saw it on sale. The next line item that we spent money on was medical, and we spent $3,580. So I ended up having a vaginal birth, and I also did get an epidural, but basically I had to reach my max out of pocket with my insurance plan to be able to cover all of my expenses. I ended up not having to pay anything for all of my prenatal appointments because of the insurance plan that I have, which was really nice. So in 2019, I didn't spend anything on medical related expenses for that first half of my pregnancy, but then the second half is when I had to spend money, and it was I only spent money on the labor and delivery. That was like the only cost. So my max out of pocket for my insurance plan was $3,500, which means that that's how much I would have to pay in a year, like max, and then insurance would cover the rest. So I actually did reach that with my hospital stay. My hospital stay before insurance was about $12,000, and then I also did get an epidural, and that was about $5,000. And then I had like an additional fee for my OBGYN, and that was about $5,300. So that was all before insurance, but then my portion after insurance actually ended up being more than $3,500, but since I have that max out of pocket, I didn't need to spend any more than that. So once I hit that $3,500 of patient responsibility, then insurance covered the rest, which I was totally planning on paying $3,500 this year for medical just to reach that max out of pocket, so it did end up being what I expected. The other great thing is that we actually have an HSA, which is a health savings account, and we have it through my husband's employer. We were able to put tax-free money into this account and use it for medical expenses, so we were able to use this to cover all medical, which was a great benefit. And then there was an extra $80 because my insurance company also gave me a free breast pump. That was one benefit through my insurance, which definitely check with your insurance to see if you get a free breast pump. But the standard breast pump that they would give was valued up to $120, and I wanted to get an upgrade. I got the Spectra S1, and I liked that it was portable, and that's why I decided to get it, but it had an extra upgrade fee of $80, so I ended up having to spend that as well. So $3,580 for all medical expenses. And in my budgeting for baby course, we talk all about medical and how you can navigate it, because I know this is such a confusing and overwhelming part of having a baby. And it's also very expensive. And the last line item that I have for money that I spent during pregnancy was on classes. So we spent $268.25 on classes. We ended up taking a labor and delivery class, which was actually, we took that in February, like mid to late February, right before everything got shut down. So that was the only thing that we did in person. Everything else was online. We took a breastfeeding class online, and we also did like a little infant CPR one, and then took a sleeping class through taking care of babies. So all of us together was $268, and I honestly think that it's worth it because I felt very prepared in these aspects. So I definitely think that those were worth the cost. So as a total, I spent $6,522.80 on all pregnancy and baby expenses. Now I definitely feel like that's a lot, but remember $3,500 of that was just from medical. So I spent about $3,000 on additional baby expenses, like all those baby supplies and nursery furniture. And again, I know that what we spent on it is definitely more than what other people may spend, and that is totally okay. I think that it's really important that you spend money on the things that are important to you and the things that you value. And if you have the money in your budget and you're able to save it, then you should feel the freedom in being able to do so. So we definitely did splurge on some things, but we also were able to save a lot of money by shopping sales and getting discounts like I talked about. So if you want to learn more about budgeting for baby and all of the costs that you can expect and how to save money on each of these things, definitely check out my course, Budgeting for Baby. I will have a link to that in the description box down below. And also don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more budgeting and baby and finance, all of those sorts of things of videos. And I will look forward to seeing you guys in my next one. Bye.
Did you ever stop and think, why spend too much time just